Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're trying something a little different. One of the things I wanted to do in the new year was start some sort of, podcast where I can connect with different creators that are in the same realm as me doing 3D printing, wargaming. I really wanted to create some content that people could put on and listen to while they're hobbying. So it is probably going to be in the form of a podcast going forward, but we'll see where it takes us. If you have any suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Today we have the privilege of having Justin from Haunts Wargaming come onto the channel. I've been watching his videos pretty much from when I started out 3D printing. I really love his battle reports and hope that you can get as much insight as I've had from chatting to him. Thank you so much, Justin, for coming along and being willing to be bombarded by my questions.
Thanks for having me.
So we're looking at, particularly around your YouTube channel, if someone hadn't seen your channel or you're trying to describe it to someone for the first time, what is Haunts Wargaming? What is the channel all about?
I work a lot with OnePageRules, which is a game system, and they also design miniatures. So I'll do battle reports for them and content kind of around that. And I also do terrain build videos and product reviews for hobby products.
Yeah, cool. Is the terrain and the hobby product, are they separate to OnePageRules, or is it?
Yeah, sometimes there's overlap, but yeah, mostly it's separate.
Yeah, you mentioned OnePageRules because that is a lot of what my questions are going to be about soon. But I was also curious, how did your channel get its name? Where does Haunts Wargaming come from?
A couple years ago, I used to run an Etsy channel.
Oh yeah.
Or not a channel, but an Etsy page, an Etsy shop, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called Hallowed Hauntings Leathercraft.
Oh, cool.
So this is kind of a continuation of that branding.
Yeah, nice. How did you, out of curiosity, how did you find Etsy? Just because I looked into it a little bit with 3D printing, but yeah, I just never really went in that direction.
Yeah, I did. I stopped it about 5-6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed working with people, but my main issue with it was I was hand building each individual thing. So you really have to be charging a lot of money in order to make that work. And I was charging as much as I felt like I could, and it just wasn't enough to justify continuing it.
That makes sense. And I feel like people don't understand that value as well. So they almost feel like you're ripping them off when it's actually, they're not paying necessarily for the product, they're paying for your time and expertise in making the product.
I'm sure those people are out there, but for the most part, people were grateful and appreciative. That was never an issue for me.
Okay.
But it was just really hard to make it work.
Yeah, okay. So more about just justifying the cost and the time spent.
Yeah, and I was doing leathercraft, which is just really hard on your hands.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I would have no idea.
That's probably the main reason I stopped it, yeah.
And then, so it was Etsy. And then what kind of made you decide to kind of pivot towards a YouTube channel?
I approached it from a business standpoint right from the start, pretty much. It took a while to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. This is my third channel that I've attempted to run. And the other two were very different. The one was finance. The other one was video games.
Oh, cool. No, video games is hard.
Yeah, I feel like those are the two major ones that people gravitate towards when they first look into starting a channel. But yeah, both of those, they're very hard to get into. And honestly, a finance channel, I'm really not qualified to run. So I'm kind of glad it didn't work out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because yeah, video games, I think it's one of those things people think oh, I already play video games, I could make stuff on it. But there's just so many people doing, it's super saturated. It's hard to...
Yeah, that, and I feel like it just kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
To have to perform while you're doing it,
Yeah, exactly. Because we can talk about it later, but I also find that just recording painting and stuff, the stuff I want to paint, but then I'm I have to record it for the video, and then it makes me not want to paint. Just out of curiosity, with those channels, were they all separate channels, or did you just rename your channel and private those videos?
No, they're separate channels. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Completely different branding for those. They're pretty much all non-existent now.
Did either of the others get monetized? Did they make the requirements?
No. I didn't even come close. Yeah.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah, so I got into miniature wargaming in a big way about 5-6 years ago. Mm-hmm. Started this channel maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That was when I first started really seriously considering it. Yeah, it started doing well pretty much right off the bat. and I've had steady growth since then.
Yeah, nice. Because, yeah, I remember when I first saw your channel, I think I just started 3D printing in 2022 and was getting into OnePageRules. I bought their old alien hives and then saw your videos on them.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I first discovered your channel through that.
That was pretty much my first experience with 3D printing, was printing out that army.
Did you find those files a little like not so great? I don't know. I've just had trouble with the alien hives, but then everything else from OnePageRules has been okay.
I wouldn't say I had trouble with those in particular. I mean, they printed out pretty well. It was quite a journey figuring out like which kind of resin to use. That's a big part of it. There's a lot of things that go into getting a good print.
Yeah. Because I think with me, it's hard to work out how much of it was just me starting out and like user error versus how much is it the files.
I didn't have a lot of like failed prints. Like in general, like the first few things I printed out, I think I had successful prints, and
yeah, nice.
I've never really had like any major failures. Just finding the right resin and fine-tuning the process and learning how to use proper protection,
Yeah, no, that's definitely, because it's crazy. I don't know if you see this, but like the Facebook groups and stuff I'm a part of, just the people just saying, oh, look, I got resin on my hands and it's fine. Like you don't need to wear gloves, like all this like stuff. I'm just like, oh no.
I've heard stories, but I haven't looked into it too much.
I think I'm one of the kind of like err on the side of caution, because you can always regret being overcautious, but you don't want to regret being undercautious.
I try and put good practices out there as best I can. Some of my earlier videos, I probably wasn't using the best practices, so they may eventually get taken down.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, it's interesting, like that kind of stuff as well. Like this is way kind of off topic, or at least what the questions I gave you. Like if you have a video that's doing well, that's old, but maybe it's got some like safety stuff or other things that aren't the best, or maybe just like information's changed or things have improved. Like, yeah, where do you stand on like, do you leave it up or do you set it to private? Or because we can't really edit videos that are already old. Like we can't put like a new slide or anything in it, can we?
You can cut stuff out. I know that because I've done that before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you could do that, but you can't like insert new stuff, which would.
No, I mean you could always re-upload it if you like it enough and you have the file.
Oh, that's true. Cool. Sorry, last random question out, because what printer did you start out with? Because I'd be interested to hear like what was your first experiences with Resin 3D printing, and sorry to like blindside you.
I started with Anycubic Photon Mono. I've since upgraded to the Anycubic Photon Mono 2.
Okay.
So those are the only two resin printers I've had.
Okay.
And I've had pretty good results with both of them. I would recommend them.
What resin do you use now? Have you been using?
I'm on my 4th bottle of Anycubic's new water washable ABS like V2.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you finding water washable resin? Just because I've used it, I don't know. Oh gosh, my computer. Sorry. I think we're good. No, my computer's got this weird thing. I got to turn the setting. It's like every 15 minutes, if I don't move anything, it like goes into power saving mode. So it doesn't take into account if I'm recording, which is a bit weird.
That's funny because mine keeps doing that too.
Yeah. So I just
I keep having to move my mouse around to get it to turn back on, but I can still hear you.
Okay, that's good. Have you found water washable resin? Just because like I used it and I think I found like the water washing part, it's supposed to be convenient, but like, I don't know, trying to dispose of the water, I don't know, safely or properly.
So far, I really like it. To the point where I don't see myself going back.
Yeah, nice.
Just not having to deal with that IPA.
Yeah.
Is so nice because I used IPA. Mm-hmm. With the other stuff.
Is IPA expensive where you're from?
No, it's not expensive. It just smells. It has really, really strong fumes. I have the stuff in my house.
Yeah, okay.
It's also flammable, so that's not great.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have a whole like 2-tub system, like a tub within a tub that I used for it. So that really helped, but still like when you open it up.
Yeah, no,
it's just like a wave of fumes.
You know it's there. Yeah. So like what's your like process using the water washable resin?
I use a lot of newspaper for one. Yep. It's kind of hard to describe. I have do you know the pickle jars?
Oh, yeah, those.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I use 2 pickle jars. One's for the dirty, and then one has clean water in.
Okay.
So I'll take the prints off. I don't leave the supports on. I take those off.
Yeah.
put the prints in the first tub. I kind of like put like a, I don't know how granular you want me to get with this.
As much as you think. I'm just curious of like, yeah, just the steps, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll wash them in the first tub, then wash them in the second tub, and then lay them out, try and kind of pad them off with paper towel, and that usually works pretty well. I'll use the dirty water for maybe like a full bottle's worth of prints, and then I have a tub outside that I pour that into.
Okay, and then is that just evaporate off or something?
Yeah, it does evaporate, but it's very slow. Like there's still a good amount in there. It's maybe like, I don't know, I would say maybe like a fifth of the way full right now. Two things to keep in mind for that. You got to have it like underneath some sort of roof.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Otherwise, if it rains, it just kind of extends the process.
I have it sitting right outside my garage door, so like the cantilever roof kind of hangs over top of it, so it never gets rained on.
Yeah, that's good.
And I have a cage built for it, so nothing can get into it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you can protect the wildlife as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, nice. Yeah, because it was one of the things when I was using it. That was a struggle.
Like, how often did you change the water out?
Like for me, I just used one bottle. So like I didn't have a constant influx of it, but it was just when I was done, I had a jar and I was just waiting for a while for it to, maybe having a see-through container wasn't the best either.
I don't know if that would matter too much. When I first started doing it, I would change the water out every single batch, and yeah, that adds up pretty quick. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's what you were doing, but that's one thing.
Yeah, no, it wasn't as extensive as that, but yeah, I think it was, I don't know, it was ages ago. I just thought as a whim to make a video on testing out some water washable resin just to see what the hype was about. Mine I think was just a standard resin. I don't think it was ABS like. So
you could try the ABS like. I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know if like other resins don't evaporate as easily.
Yeah,
that could definitely be a thing.
At this stage, I probably kind of content with my system because I don't know if it's the same thing. I use methylated spirits for cleaning, even though that's still quite flammable. But I found that a little less potent to IPA, and it seems like it works.
Yeah, I've heard people use that, and I haven't tried it out though. That's good though.
Okay, so going back to OPR, there's a lot of OPR content now on your channel, and you've mentioned like they like sponsor those videos. I was just wondering, yeah, how did that come about?
Like most of my content early on was kind of based around them. Almost from the inception of the channel, I wanted to build the channel around that brand, or at least have it presence there. And I figured eventually maybe I could get them to sponsor a video or something when I felt comfortable making a battle report, because I had enough terrain for like multiple different battles built up. I made my first battle report. I had kind of a vague vision for what I wanted to do, but I figured it would kind of evolve over time. And I posted that, and then I posted it on the Discord.
Oh yeah,
the OPR Discord. And I guess they saw it there and they liked it enough, contacted me, and wanted to see if I wanted to do like battle reports for them.
Yeah, cool.
Monthly.
Because was the first one the Dark Brothers vs Alien Hives, that 1,000-point one?
Yeah,
nice.
Yep.
Because I think like it was one of those things where it's like, I don't know, there's everyone trying to make their own battle reports, but I think yours really stood out just because it wasn't just some guy holding his phone with his mates and just recording the whole thing, and it was like there was actually some effort in editing and making it like easier to watch.
That's a big thing for me, is making it as easy to watch as possible for people.
This might be too hard to answer, but like how long from like start to finish would it take to make a battle report? Like, well, one of yours.
Not including like time to paint like miniatures up.
Yeah, not including that.
Like saying you have everything ready and you're just filming it. I mean, it also depends on the size of the game. It takes maybe like 4 to 6 hours to film.
Yeah, wow.
20 to 40 hours to edit. Probably like 30 to 40 hours to edit.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, well, it pays off. Like,
that's my guess.
It shows. Yeah, no, because like when you were saying 4 to 6 hours, I was like, don't tell me that's just film and edit, because holy crap, that's efficient. Yeah, wow, that's a lot of time. Yeah.
I've really refined the process. It might be closer. It might be around 30 hours, 30, 35.
That's impressive though. Like it.
And I'll say if I do like a narrative, that's like a whole nother thing on top of it. That's like a whole nother step.
Yeah.
So that adds a lot of time too.
Yeah, wow. No, I'm just, blown away. But I also like can understand why that would take, like, just, all the different things, the different shots, making the music, the graphics. Yeah, wow.
It's an obscene amount of cuts. I'm sure you understand that.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like all that extra effort, like the little bits that you add as a sum, it just makes the whole thing so much better. And I think that's probably why. I could be wrong, but I don't think anyone else has as good of battle reports, particularly for one-page rules things than you.
I'm a big fan of Play on Tabletop. I think they've pretty much set the bar.
Yeah, that's true. They haven't done a one-page rules battle report, have they? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I don't know if they will or not.
Yeah, I want
at some point.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Because but I feel like, I don't know, we're almost like one-man crews. Like, I'm not, like, you wouldn't have other people editing or filming or anything. I'm guessing not.
If they did a good job, but I don't have the money for that. So maybe someday.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to like think, like, I don't know, in my head now the gears are turning just to think like, what would it take for me to get to that play on tabletop standard? But I think it's a bigger crew and bigger equipment and just money.
Yeah, they have quite an operation. So I've just been kind of trying to strike a balance between doing the best I can and...
Yeah, and I think that's all we can do at this stage, really. It's just, doing what we can and just trying to make improvements here and there. And maybe one day we'll get to that stage where we've got employees and other people. And last question around the battle reports. We've already kind of touched on some of the topics, but what advice would you give to people who are looking to make good quality battle reports from your experience?
One of the biggest things I could say is try and cut as much as you can out. Try not to use like a static shot for the entire game. I don't know. It's a lot of it depends on personal preference.
Yeah,
I think.
That's true.
How you want to present things.
Those are solid points.
I was going to say, I definitely have a lot of opinions on like best practices, but I mean, that's just my opinion. And
I'd be keen to hear those just because I'm genuinely curious, because I haven't made a battle report yet that I've been game enough to show off.
I mean, I don't have a list in my head prepared.
No, fair enough.
But I'm trying to think of what I would say. Definitely cut a lot out. I like to film it from like one or two sides of the table. I don't like to jump around. I think that's confusing and disorienting for the viewer.
Yeah, that makes it's almost like a film, like, because they have that, they talk about like the line, like don't cross the line in like action scenes and stuff.
Yeah, that too. That's one way to look at it. I also look at it as like kind of filming a football game or American football. any kind of sport, really.
Yeah, if you're flipping sides, people get confused which teams are going and stuff.
Yeah, I use that rule.
This is more just for me, but other people might find it. Because I notice when you film your battle reports, there's a lot of filming you guys talk during the game. Is that just also to help with editing and like not have to go back and do voiceovers, or is...
As far as like explaining rules?
Yeah, like it seems like a lot of it is done. Like there's a few kind of voiceovers here and there, but you would know your battle reports more than me, but it just seems like it's,
I prefer to do it that way because it saves me time in the editing.
That's good.
In theory.
I don't know how secretive the podcast idea of doing like an episode on each faction and stuff, but do you have a favorite faction at the moment from One Page Rules? Whether it's rules based or like what they've released so far?
As far as the rules go, I honestly don't think there's a huge difference between each one because you have so many options. You can almost build the army you want regardless of what you're playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So that's one thing. Visually, I don't know, the Star Hosts were pretty good.
Yeah, no, they were. I'd really love to print and paint some, but I've just got so much other stuff to get through. Yeah.
No, I get that.
I don't know if it's too bad to say. Do you have ones you don't like?
Nah. I probably shouldn't comment on that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I was your last two videos, you've done the like ice ponds, and then you've had, I'm just looking more for the dwarves, and then you did like the dwarves versus daemons battle report.
Yeah.
I'm curious from a tactics point of view, how have you found the slow rule, like, and using an army? Because I tried to play firefight with dwarves and I just got destroyed?
We just played a game 2 days ago, 2K Dwarves. I don't want to say if they won or not, but definitely having an APC or something to transport them helps. The initial positioning is really important. Having a 2K versus 1K really helped as well. I feel like you almost always need like 20% of your army needs to be ambush,
Okay.
or at least have scout, especially with something like that.
Oh, as in, were you saying that?
With an army like that.
Okay, with like an army with slow, you kind of want scout and ambush just to get that extra mobility.
Yeah, but like again with that, like they still have a lot of options for you to not even have to worry about the slow if you don't even want to deal with it.
Yeah, that's true. I think I just loaded them with like heavy guns, but then they got into melee and it was just bad news bears for them.
What were you playing against?
I was playing against Jackals. It was brutal because it's like I'm versing this 12-year-old boy who I've just taught firefight the last week, and then he's just brought this like super tuned fast list that just like races in, kills you, and I was like, what the hell, man? Like this is not fair. I'm just playing to have fun because the dwarfs just came out and I printed them, and I was just talking about, I guess, how do you balance the time for like, I don't know, life, the YouTube channel, and also just the hobby side of things, because like our hobby is quite a time intensive hobby.
It's tough. It's definitely not an easy thing to do. I think certain parts of my life kind of suffer because of this. It's difficult to find time to like spend time with my girlfriend, or like I've really been relying on her to like cook meals recently because I've been so busy with this. It's something I'm trying to figure out, because it is a big part of this, finding a way to work it into your life.
Yeah.
And I still work a full-time job, like normally, like a quote unquote normal job, and basically working 2 full-time jobs. I wouldn't say that this is like paying me a full-time wage yet, so.
Yeah. I feel like with the YouTube stuff, it's one of the things where it's like the more time you invest into it, the more opportunities you might have for like your break / also like get to the point where it starts being more sustainable.
Yeah, I'm hoping it gets to that point sooner than later.
Yeah. I guess while we're talking about that, like what are the best ways that people can support you in the channel? My
Patreon is probably the best way. Started that a few months ago. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to set up the tiers, offer people something that they actually want to sign up for, you know?
Yeah. No, it's good.
Like it's a tricky thing to figure out how to manage that. And
I'm not gonna lie, those like post-mortems after the battle report, because they got me in. I like subscribed for a month or whatever the Patreon equivalent. I was just like, I need to know what their thoughts were and how the dwarfs can play better.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't know if this question's fair, because you can say no and I'll just cut it out. Is your girlfriend in the hobby?
No, she's not.
Yeah, okay. No, because my wife is definitely not. And the Warhammer free model thing, and we were in the area and I had to do some errands, so I asked her to go in and get me one. They made her sit down and assemble the model before she could take it, and she was like, you owe me. So yeah, no, it's one of those things where like, yeah, quite a lot of my friends, like their partners, it's just like they all just accept that this is a part of their partner, but they just don't understand.
Yeah, no, that's how it is with us for sure.
I have is just, any tips for anyone that would want to start out a channel, whether it's like wargaming or anything like that? Because it seems like you've got quite the experience, because you've tried a few different channels and then you've come into this channel with almost like a game plan in mind. Like any tips you'd be up for sharing with just anyone listening who might be interested in starting a channel?
I mean, you definitely have to know what your audience looks like, who you're making videos for. That's one thing. Yeah. Be prepared to put a lot of time into it and not see a whole lot of results potentially. You know, it's a challenging thing to do. It's not easy money, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to enjoy editing.
Oh, that's for sure.
That's one. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Justin, for jumping on whatever this is, whether it be podcast or something else.
Thanks for having me on here. It was fun.
You need an Aussie voice for a narrative, just, let me know.
Yeah, the Jackals are supposed to have like an Aussie accent, so if we ever do a Jackal report again, I'll let you know.
If you'd like to watch another hobby-related video, you can click over here. Thank you so much for watching, and happy hobbying.